So what we have and about Brazil, may we be truly thankful and mindful of the needs of others.
Amen. Thank you, Emma. Can we have the loyal toast from CMP Keith from Rotaract Club Munyonyo? Can you please give us the loyal toast? CMP Keith, can you hear me? Can you please give us the loyal toast?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know if I'm the only one who did not hear CMP Keith.
The loyal toast, a toast to the good health of the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Thank you. I'll ask Gladys to give us the 4-way test.
The 4-way test of the things we think and say and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Gladys. CMP Hassan, can you please lead us in the goals of Rotaract?
Thank you, President, for giving me this opportunity. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, the first goal of Rotaract is to develop professional and leadership skills. The second goal of Rotaract is to emphasize respect for the rights of others and to promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. The third goal of Rotaract President is to provide opportunities for young people to address the needs and concerns of the community and our world. The fourth goal, President, is to provide opportunities for working in cooperation with sponsoring Rotary clubs. And the fifth, the final goal of Rotaract is to motivate young people for eventual membership into Rotary. Thank you, President.
Thank you so much, CMP Hassan, for leading us in the goals. Thank you all for taking us through the norms. So we go into our introductions. Do we have any Rotarians present to introduce yourselves? Any Rotarians present? Okay, do we have any Rotarians? One more call. Okay, so can we have some introductions from the Rotaractors present?
Yes, thank you, President. Luchamzi Raymond from the Rotaract Club of Kampala Central, The Rock. I'm here with Emma Oluka, our membership director, and Senta Moroni, our PLD chair for our club, and a guest known by Helisa Joan. We are all from The Rock, for members, here to enjoy fellowship and also thank you, appreciate you people coming for our virtual installation, which happened last Thursday. Thank you very much, President.
Thank you so much, Raymond, and the team from the Rock. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, CMP Jacinta, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, CMP Jen. My name is Jacinta Namujazi. I'm the Changemaker President of the Rotaract Club of Luvaga. I'm always happy to be here. I'm always happy to be with you guys.
Thank you for coming. Yes, CMP Keith, please go ahead.
Hi, President. This is CMP Keith Ruho from the Rotaract Club of your neighbors just there. I'm happy to ship with you, and yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, our neighbor. We pray the lockdown is lifted so that we meet in person real soon. Yes, Joel Odama, please go ahead.
Much, President. I am a visitor attending and I'm a club of Rua President, and I'm happy to be part of this fellow. And I look forward to the full enjoyment with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joel. Yes, CMP Hassan, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, President Jen. My name is Hassan Tenyundo from the Rotaract Club of Kampala, Chibuli. President, I'm here for fellowship, but to also return your visit yesterday when we hosted ADR Douglas talking to us about leadership and innovations in a crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, CMP Hassan. Any more introductions? Okay, do we have any apologies? No. Yes, Balam, please go ahead.
Not apologies, but sorry, these are late introductions. Thank you very much, President Jen. My name is Balam Bifiramuda from the Rotaract Club of Woyoge Nambole, and I'm here to enjoy fellowship.
You're welcome, Balam. So any makeups? Any makeups?
President, this is Gladys.
Yes, Gladys.
I was privileged to have fellowship with Rotaract Club of Hope Kansanga this evening. We also had fellowship with Rotaract Club of Nangabo, and they were sensitizing us about the pandemic period. I was also privileged to attend fellowship with Rotaract Club of Machindia West early this week. I think it was on Monday. Yes, that's all.
Thank you, Gladys, for always representing and showing Bunga out there. I still encourage our members to please visit. I know some of you visit, but when it comes to makeups, usually don't give them. But please visit. So today, the FENEB Body Group, before we start that, any Rotary information? Rotary information, I'll begin with ours. So on 20th August, we shall be having our charter and installation of the Rotary Club of Bunga. And depending on how the situation will be in the country, it will either be physical, it will be hybrid. if they allow some people to meet, some people will be there and others will be online. But if they don't allow, it might purely all be online. So we shall be communicating more details. Any other Rotary information? Yes, CMP Keith, your hand is still up. I don't know if you forgot to lower it.
Sorry.
Okay.
I forgot it down.
Okay. If we do not have any Rotary information, then we the Fenebade group is organizing fellowship today, and they invited a guest for us. So allow me invite Haman Nyanzi to introduce our guest speaker today. Haman?
Thank you, President. Good evening, everyone. Haman
Good
Nyanzi
evening.
is my name from Rotaract Club of Bunga. So our guest today, our guest speaker is Emmanuel Sabit Olama. He is a self-motivated entrepreneur with a vast experience in the stationery, printing, and publishing industry, where he is the director in the company trading as Real Paper Press, with its offices located at Nkrumah Road in Kampala. So as a self-motivated team player with the good communication skills, it has led him to serve on many leadership committees. And he's also God-fearing Christian, and he have actively participated in church activities where he served as a public announcer. He also served on Gawa Catholic Professionals, an organization for professionals at church, as the public relations officer. On top of that, he also served as a secretary for Professional Ventures Club, an investment arm for the above church organizations. He's also the secretary for the organization is SACCO and director at PVC Heights Restaurant and Car Wash, a business owned by the same organization. His passion for serving the community led him to join the Rotary Club of Bunga, and he is also a charter member of the
Haman, are you still on? I believe we lost Haman, but I believe most of us at least had 90% of our guest speaker's bio or profile. So allow me welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Rotarian Emmanuel. You're welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, President. I'm always happy to join you in fellowship. I would like to thank Herman for the kind introduction. Yes, he had read, I think, 90% of the bio, but you missed out the most important one. Very, very interesting. So you'll get back to Herman and he'll give you the details either during the end of fellowship or during semester.
Okay.
Otherwise, President, thank you for inviting me to this club. Today, I want to speak about the roles of a Rotaract Club leader. I don't know how many minutes you're giving me.
We're
How many minutes do I have?
we're giving you 25 minutes.
Okay, let me program myself. Okay. Rotaract, as you all know, Rotaract stands for Rotary in Action. Rotaract, it is an organization of young people from the age of 18 and above who come together to exchange ideas with leaders in the community to develop leadership and professional skills while having fun. Mark that, while having fun through service. So Rotary and Rotaract members work side by side to take action through service. So meaning that Rotaract is an affiliate of Rotary and hence Rotary International. Now, President, you'll allow me, I'm going to mention the leadership that we have in Rotaract, and then I'll mention the main one, and then I'll also talk about their roles in brief.
Okay.
President, as you and members of the club, as you very well know, that this club consists of the president, who is you now, who is chairing the meeting. It has the vice president, it has the secretary, it has the treasurer, it has the board of directors. So the board can consist of committees. There are different committees, and I'm going to mention them, but I'll first talk about the roles of the president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. Hello, am I on?
Yes, Emmanuel, you are. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, just a minute. President and members of the club, as the president of the club, the president is the overseer of the club, meaning that the president helps in coordinating all the activities of the club. The president identifies members' skills and interests and pushes them to work in club's projects. Yes, identifying members' skills, and those skills should be put to greater use in the club activities and in the different committees. The president to maintain club's operations, delegating responsibilities and establishing meeting schedules. The president also develops a plan for the year as early as possible. I remember recently, I think you unveiled the strategic plan goal for the year. So that is already a good step for the Rotaract Club of Bonga in its early stages. The president also presides over all meetings of the club and its board of directors. He or she appoints all standing and special committees with the board approval. Mark you, board approval. He doesn't do it on his or her own. He has to seek the board approval so that they work as a team and follow up on the committee progress with the help of the vice president. And the president is also the accounting officer of the club. Accounting officer means that all expenditures and financial transactions of the club have to be approved by the president. The treasurer will, of course, forward all the information regarding the financials to the president. If there are any payments to be made, then the president makes approval according to that. This is to ensure that the club has stability. Now I'm done with it. In a nutshell, the president's ability to work effectively with the Rotaract board of directors and club members ultimately measures how well the president leads the club. So the president has got to have that rapport with the other leaders where they work hand in hand to have a smooth running of the club. But before I leave that, I had forgotten this, that the president is also a link between the district Rotaract officials, like the district Rotaract representative and the assistant district Rotaract representative, to ensure that the club participates in the activities and the meetings organized by the district and the country. So, and also coordinating Rotary International through participation in the Rotaract on things like the convention, and also annual reporting to Rotary International. So now we go to the role of the vice president. The vice president, who in most cases ends up being the president-elect. That is if the members approve eventually. So the vice president plays a very critical role in the club, because the vice president is now being nurtured and groomed to take over leadership after the president has left office in the coming year. So the vice president should preside over all meetings when the president is absent, and serves on the board of directors as an ex-officio member of all committees, responsible for all assignments delegated by the president. So in other words, that you'll have the different committees that will be having their meetings, because these committees will be generating their plans and reports which are sent to the board for approval. So the vice president here takes a leading role, because he or she should be coordinating those activities. A well-organized vice president can be key to a successful Rotaract year by reducing the administrative load of the president. This will also lead to a smooth change of presidency, as I had earlier mentioned. So it's very important for the club, for the president and the vice to work as a team. Then now I go to the secretary. The secretary has very many responsibilities. So the person whom you put as a secretary should be someone with very good communication skills. Very good communication skills, and is detail oriented and organized. The secretary handles the club's communication with the public. Yeah. So it promotes the club through correspondence to the different to the different people and organizations outside the club, because you have like the agencies, you have prospective and club members, you have Rotary International and other Rotaract clubs. So the secretary would be sending emails, writing formal letters, and also sending social media posts. The secretary is supposed to take all the minutes during the board meetings and the club minutes and the club meetings. The secretary keeps keeps track of the Rotaract. No, I beg your pardon. In conjunction with the club president, the secretary prepares the agenda for club meetings. He or she also keeps members informed of dates, time, and venues for meetings, including those to be conducted on online platforms. The secretary should maintain a register of all club attendance at meetings. This can be done in conjunction with probably the sergeant at arms. You have the sergeant at arms. So the sergeant at arms sends the details of the members' attendance to the secretary, which should be kept. The record should be kept because attendance in Rotary, for you to be a member, for you to be counted as a member of Rotaract, you're supposed to have a certain percentage, a certain number of attendance. So if you don't have that attendance as a member, then you might end up being discontinued for being a member. So these records are very, very crucial. Then I'll go to the treasurer. The treasurer is responsible for all the club's financial stability. And he or she should be a person of integrity and has to be honest. The treasurer is the chair of the finance committee. This is a very important committee because it handles all the club's financial transactions. That includes the budgets and things like that. The treasurer works with the board of directors to develop the budget, collects dues and all funds released by the club, pays all club bills and reimbursements for club activities, but he or she should seek approval or authorization from the club president, as earlier mentioned. Then the treasurer is also mandated to report the club's financial status at each meeting or at each board meeting, because this is very important so that the club knows how it's standing financially on things like dues and its other financial commitments that keeps the club running. This treasurer should keep proper records of all financial transactions of the club. And at the end of it all, you should have the books of accounts audited. These books of accounts are very, very crucial. They are all required by Rotary International. So the books of accounts should be audited by the auditors. Now, after those main club leaders and directors, you can have other committees. You can have other standing committees, but these committees can be as many as the club wants. It depends on what the club's needs are. But the main ones for Rotaract, you have the club service committee, you have the community service committee, you have international service committee, professional development committee, PR committee, and others, depending on what the club wants. Now, I would like to go to the component of the board because the board is a very important part of the club in its leadership hierarchy. So let's look at the role of the board. What does the board do? One is the board is a policy, makes policies for the club. it makes policies for the club. These policies can be in form of bylaws. The constitution normally many clubs use the standard constitution, but then if there are things that the club feels that that the club should have separately from the constitution, then there are bylaws that are made. So this is where the policies come in. So the board is also responsible for budget and work plan for the presentation to the club assembly. The board is responsible for approval of major projects and programs. It's responsible for implementing decisions of the General Assembly. The board is responsible for the general oversight and policy formulation. The board is the custodian of the mission and vision of the club. So the mission and vision of the club should be very clear. I hope, President, you have it. If you don't have the mission and vision, you should very soon work on it, because this one will give you an insight of where you want the club to be in years to come. Because in Rotary, we don't work for 1 year. We work for the coming years. So when the president leaves, he is able to hand over the leadership to another president who continues with what the previous president had said, the previous president and the board. Then the board must ensure that the club is well governed and has suitable roles and regulations consistent with and subject to the club's constitution and bylaws. Now, the board, after the roles of the board, how does it affect what I've mentioned above? So there should be what you call fun with service. Like if you're going for board meetings, there must be fun of members, so that members don't dread the time they're going to attend meetings and they end up dodging meetings because of the following the usual, meeting norms, and so the meetings should have a bit of fun, but of course also being serious in the planning. These meetings should be brief, 1 to 2 hours with a clear agenda, and which must be followed strictly. The documents that you're going to use in the meeting should be circulated in advance so that people read them and come when they're prepared to avoid wasting time. Then as you're attending the board meetings, avoid ambushing members or smuggling matters onto the agenda. Board members are advised to discuss important matters with the president prior to the meeting. All this ends up in saving a lot of time because the meeting can tend to drag on when members fail to agree on a certain issue. And then this board ends up developing what you call, it creates, should have consensus building. Consensus is where that that people work as a team. Yes, the board should, in as far as possible, reach decisions by consensus where they agree. Yeah, because I've been to board meetings of our club. At times you drag on an agenda. One agenda can take you almost 1 hour. So if you fail to agree, then it becomes a big problem because the meeting will end up taking a lot of time, and then the members might end up absconding for the next meeting. Now, where the agreement cannot be reached, the matter should be put to the vote as a last resort. Yes, so when you realize that members cannot agree on an issue, then you vote on the issue so that it shows that that there is no favor. The majority of votes should carry the day, even if it's just one vote, and all members must abide by the majority decision. So this is all about collective responsibility. In the event that the board fails to reach a decision due to deadlock, the matter should be referred to the vote, as previously mentioned. So now what makes this board effective? Because if you don't have an effective board, then that means the leadership of the club will have issues, and then this will trickle down to the club, and then it will affect the members. So the effectiveness of the board means that an effective president and officer, that it should have an effective president and officer, and the officers. There should be a clear sense of direction. There should be good timekeeping. There should be accountability. Accountability of all that the club does. It's very important so that the members know that whatever they are doing is well accounted for. Good communication, optimum utilization of limited resources. There should be teamwork, collective responsibility, and avoiding factions and cliques. So these cliques, you might lead to some members siding against another, and then meaning that the board might fail to have critical decisions made for the running of the club. President, as I wind up, I believe I'm still within my time as I make my conclusion. President, Rotaract Club of Bunga is still a young club. I just heard that you said that the charter ceremony is going to happen soon. I think end of August, something like that. I heard very well. On the charter day, you'll have the installation of the club officers, just as there will be installation of the club president and all the other officers. So this one helps to, this is very important, so that the officers are recognized as the leaders for that year. And then after the inaugural year, which is the charter year, the annual installation ceremony is held to thank the past officers for their year of dedicated work and to a great, for their year of dedicated work, so that this inspires other people to take on leadership. Because it's not easy, especially in these voluntary organizations, for leaders to come up. Actually, I would advise that your club should start training, should start identifying future leaders in advance, because this is always a challenge for young clubs. So where you have the chair of the committees, if you can put in an assistant who is going to be trained to take over from the one that is there. So this helps in bridging that leadership gap, because if I look at, I get experience from our club. We had that problem. We would you would find the same leaders are the ones coming back in the following year. It's because that we had failed to identify leaders who can take over. So you will find that if it's Rotarian Emma who has served as the administrator this year, he's going to come back as the administrator the next year, because the most stable person who can handle that position. So it is very, very important for the club to start identifying people. And all members of the club should be part of at least one committee. Let all the members be part of a particular committee, so that they also understand what it takes to be a leader, and of course also to develop their skills. And eventually, when the opportunity arises, they are able to take over the club leadership. By the way, a president can be anyone, but it all comes through training, because if you don't get the training and exposure, then it becomes difficult for you to ascend to that leadership position. And so, but most importantly, there should be a link between the Rotaract Club and the Rotary Club, which is your sponsor club or your mother club. You should try to maintain that communication so that it strengthens and strengthens the bond, where you will be having things like joint projects and activities, and even you can encourage having joint meetings. Like if your service project team is the things they're going to discuss about a certain project or activity, you invite the mother club to attend, and you also seek to attend the mother club's meeting. So that's that coordination, and the fact that now Rotary also encourages Rotaract and Rotary clubs to have joint projects. So I hope going forward, this would be a reality. President. So as I conclude, as Mother Club, we look forward towards the very exciting day of the charter and its installation ceremony. Now that the date has been announced, you should be rest assured that we will give you all the support and hope to be a great partners for the future of serving the community. I beg to stop here, President. Thank you so much. And I hand over to the President. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Emmanuel Sabiti. Thank you for representing. Allow me to recognize dear Alan Tambi. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, so now is the time for questions. Please raise up your hand if you have a question for Rotarian Emmanuel, or if you can type in the chat. I think I'll start with my own question. I have one. So you talked about the different committees that the Rotaract Club is supposed to have, but giving an example of our club, the new clubs that don't have as many members as can be on all committees, what do you advise such a club to do? For example, if each committee has to have like 4 members, and they have to be different in all the different committees, what do you advise a club to do in the beginning before they get the numbers that can accommodate committees for each department? I don't know if, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? I think it would be good if we ask the questions at once and Rotarian Emmanuel answers them at once. So any questions, anyone else with a question, please raise up your hand or you type it in the chat. Yes, Jen, please go ahead.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Emma, for the presentation. I'm just concerned about my own TRF chair. Yes, I don't know when I'm supposed to come out and actually do my role. Like I don't know. Help me. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Please. Any other question? Alan, I saw your hand up. I don't know if you had a question.
No.
Okay, Emmanuel, I think you can be answering those ones.
Okay. Thank you very much for your questions. I'll start with you as President. You mentioned that how can if the club has few members, how can they serve on the committees? I don't know if that is the question, if I got it well.
Yes, maybe
So you asked me to advise on how they can serve on, since the members
I
are
can
few.
rephrase it. It's vice. I believe that's how it is.
Okay. Yes, I don't know how many committees you have, but in any case, even if there are many, I believe because the club is the numbers are not. I think you are more than 20. Yes. So you'll find at
Yes,
least
we
one
are.
person will, at least two people will be able to serve in the different committees. And where the numbers don't allow, then of course, the committee might be chaired by one person. That is okay because, of course, you're supposed to increase membership of your club. So as the other members keep coming in, and then they can join the different committees. I hope I have answered you.
Yes, yes, yes. Second question.
Yes. Jen Peace is saying that she's the TRF chair, but she's not sure of her role.
Yes.
Okay. This is very common. Even many of us, when we joined our clubs, it took us quite a bit of time to understand our roles, leave alone understanding, the basics of Rotary.
Yeah.
So this is not something that you should be embarrassed about. It happens to so many people. The Rotary Foundation, the Rotary Foundation deals with the funds that are sent to Rotary International, the contributions that we make as clubs. Yes, things like Polio Plus. The Polio Plus contribution goes to the Rotary Foundation. The donations that we make, these contributions that we keep giving in, there's what you call an all giving club, where the club, each Rotaractor, contributes a certain amount of money. That money is sent to the Rotary Foundation. Now, this Rotary Foundation is actually the financial arm of Rotary, because if you're going to do any project, the big projects, leave alone the small community projects where you can fundraise locally. So these big projects where you might even need international partners or local partners for that matter. But now these are projects, say of $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000, yeah, which money cannot be raised by the club. So you apply for the funds from the Rotary Foundation. So the money that we contribute goes to the Rotary Foundation. Then it comes back to clubs for projects. Yes? Yeah. But I would advise you, Jane Peace, that you should also try and read more about the Rotary Foundation. There's a lot of information on the internet concerning all these. So when you check the website, you'll get information about the Rotary Foundation. But
Thank
also,
you. I just did it. Yeah.
Yes, but also the president and the board should organize training for you guys. You're supposed to have a training. You can invite the district and the country officials to train you. Much as now that the physical meetings are not there, but even online, you can have a training online. And there are also different trainings that keep happening from Rotary. So when you see those trainings, please try and join them. They're very, very important. It helps you to understand Rotary better and to improve on your knowledge. Yeah.
True.
So, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Rotarian Emma, there is a question in chat that who is in charge of funds so that it's controlled and healthy for the club.
Who is in charge of fun?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in Rotaract, in Rotary, for us, we have the fun part, which is for us we call it family of Rotary. But now in Rotaract, I don't know whether you have a family of Rotary, but if you don't have, there is, I think, let me see. It is under which committee?
Oh.
Hello? Someone was trying to, yes, please.
Yes, we have family of Rotary.
We can hear you. We can hear
You
you.
have family of Rotary in Rotaract.
Rotaract, sorry.
It's family of Rotary, but that is under the club service committee.
Okay, club service committee.
The family of Rotary is under club service committee. Even in Rotaract, it is family of Rotary.
Okay, okay, okay. So I think that question is answered. A club service committee where you'll have the family of Rotary. So the fun has got to be wide. The fun, there are things like, you know, the birthdays of members. Yes. So where you know, you will provide a cake and then, you know, you have that fun. Then there's where you have what you call home hospitality. Yes, home hospitality. You can either be invited by a member to your to their home, to his or her home. Yes, and then you have that fun moment. You know, it's just a day out for Rotarians. I mean, for Rotaractors. Yeah, but some of these things you should put them in your bylaws so that it's clear. Because now, if say like birthdays, you'll say, okay, maybe every month we shall have we shall cut cake for all the babies of that month. You know, you provide one cake, maybe on the last fellowship of the month. Then someone will come and say, but you know, even me, my wedding anniversary fell on the same month, when it's not part of the bylaws. So it can be, so you need to be clear on what consists the fun, you know. I mean, it shouldn't be left open. Yeah, so that is for the club to come up with.
Yes, Rotarian Ham. Your hand is up.
Okay.
Rotarian Ham. Rotarian Ham is not. Okay, over to you, President.
His network is misbehaving. Rotarian Humphrey. Yes. Yes, there's also another hand from Emma Oluka from the Rock. Ask your question.
Yeah, thanks so
Emma
much.
Oluka is not near his phone or gadget. Thank you.
Thank you so. Are we there?
Yes, we are here.
Yeah, Madam President, I think your network is disturbing. Anyway, thank you so much, Rotarian Emmanuel. My only question goes to the new context we are in, where of COVID. This now comes with us being very strategic or very strategic, visionary in our thinking as the leadership of Rotary clubs. So how are we going to ensure the safety, or who is responsible for the safety and the health of the members as we open up and people come for the fellowship? Because this is very key for us to take into consideration. It's a role that has not been there, but needs to be taken into consideration as the club leadership.
Okay, thank you, Oluka. Oluka, we are all facing the same challenge of the pandemic. Most of us have been used to the physical meetings, but now because of this pandemic, it has made most of these meetings to be held online. Of course, with the online meetings, you miss that rapport with your members. You know, the times I want to see President Jane's smiling face. You know, I want to see the ever laughing Joanna, the funny Alan. You know, it's what makes us look forward to attend fellowships. But now the safety of the members, it should be, it's the president who should put in place, should determine the safety of the members. But again, also, all the club members should have responsibility, because we have been given information about the pandemic. We have been told that we should observe the SOPs, wash your hands, sanitize, social distance, wear your mask. So these things are not new to us. So in any case that we go back to, we are allowed to have the physical meeting, we should continue to have the SOPs in place, because the pandemic is not going to go anytime soon. It's still here with us for quite some time. So the more responsible you become, because even if the president says that, okay, you should have social distance in the meeting, but then she will not come and hold you. You need to follow that. So it is us, the members, because we have been told time and again on what to do. Thank you. Thank you, President. President is offline. Hello? Hello, members?
Yeah, I think she's offline.
Okay, I can see the vice can take over.
Oh, I'm here, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the questions and for being here with us today. Allow me invite. Yes, Emmanuel, are you saying something?
No, I'm done, President.
Allow me invite, looking for Joanna, but sadly she's not on the call. Invite Jen, please, to give us a vote of thanks, to give Rotarian Emmanuel a vote of thanks for today's fellowship. Jen, please, can you hear me? Peace is not near her phone or gadget. Emmanuel, for today's fellowship.
Okay, thank you, President. I think the network at this time is not so good in many areas. Okay, on behalf of Rotaract Club of Bunga, I would like to thank our guest speaker, Rotarian Emma Sabiti. Thank you for that session and guiding us on the different roles and responsibilities of leadership and how we can also nurture leadership among members of the club. I'm sure we shall use your expertise and experience in Rotary going forward. And once again, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Edward. On behalf of our president, today we had Rotary Club of Bunga present. Then we had Kampala Central, we had Kampala Chibuli, Kampala Mnyonyo, Rubaga, Boyogere, Nambole, Mulago, Mienga Breeze, Jinja, Bukoto, King Caesar University, Kabalagala, Rotaract Club of Arua, Rotaract Club of Mutundwe, Rotaract Club of Gaba. Yeah, so thank you for coming in this fellowship, and special thanks goes to Rotaract Club of Kampala Central. They rock. Indeed, you rocked us. Thank you very much. And also I want to thank all the Changemaker presidents for making it to our fellowship. Thank you very much. It has been wonderful. Keep it up. So any other information from us? Hello, members. Yes, members, do you have any other information?
Herman, I've raised my hand.
Yes, Ed.
Yes, I have a communication to the Rotaract Club of Bunga members. Please send me their images on my WhatsApp number. We want to update our profiles on our website and in our respective body groups. So I need your images. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, Eddie. Let me invite Alan Mutebi to give us the final toast. Alan?
For the wonderful fellowship we have had, this was locally international.
Rotary world over.
Rotary world over.
Rotary world over.
Rotary world.
Rotary world over.
Thank you so much, friends, for coming. Sorry, my internet was on and off. But I'm glad you were able to be with us. Please come again. We meet every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you're invited for after fellowship. Is after fellowship, you switch on your camera and we say hello. Let me first hide a few things here.